As a brief addendum to my earlier sorting, this is what I have left after I've filled out all the scenarios. Got 2 things of these. Now, at least one of these cases, the dolphin, I know came up and I just missed it. So that's fine. I'll put that over here and, remember it later. But some of these others never came up. And there were ships that did come up that I don't think exist. I didn't look back, but in some of the mid scenarios, I'm seeing ships that never came up. Some of these ships are double copies of the same ship. The Dreadnought, for example, there's 2 copies of this exact same ship. This, I believe, is the Belle Isle mistyped. Maybe they fixed the typo correction. They corrected the typo in Ship of the Line. I don't know. Some of these others, this one I think there was another copy of. This one I know there was another copy of. Who knows which one's right, which one's wrong. It's not clear. Maybe there's a misprint on the back or something. I don't know. The Ocean, I know that's shown up. I don't know if there were 2 copies of it. I know there were 2 copies of this one and of this one. However, there are ones I'm pretty sure aren't. As to commanders, well, this guy, he's got commands, but I think he's always specified as the 3-leader. It's his higher ranked version, but I'm not sure. And maybe he shows up here as a captain on board a ship or something, but who the hell knows? And basically what I'm saying here is, it is a clusterfuck to try to sort this game and to try to figure out how to use it. I probably should have sorted everything just alphabetically, left it that way, and pulled out the counters for each scenario as I needed, because I have no clue how I'm going to cope with this. However, that would have this high cost of continual resorting. Unfortunately, I think I'm stuck with that anyway. Immediately, this game starts to decrease in value because of the simple fact that, okay, you store a whole country in one bag, you deserve this, right? No, but because there's no way of sorting it that's useful. Most of the GMT games have come out with a lot of help towards that. I don't understand why this one's so popular. We'll try the playthrough, but frankly, my playing of it was not very pleasant. Now, maybe it was tainted a little bit by the sorting nightmare, but I had my wife's help that time too, and we were just sitting there kind of enjoying ourselves sorting our 2 forces. We were only looking for the forces for one scenario, and the play was incredibly fiddly. Hopefully it'll be a little better, but so far this game has really disappointed me on so many levels. Okay, so the sorting is more or less completed. I've got a pile of ships here that I don't know what to do with. In some cases, I'm beginning to suspect maybe they're reinforcements I didn't see, because the way the setup is, sometimes the reinforcements are written somewhere in the rules just as this paragraph rather than in a nice, easy-to-find format. I thought I caught most of them, but that's likely the reason why there's extra counters. But there are also counters that are just duplicates, and I compare them and they're exact duplicates. That may be an attempt to move towards, let's get, every scenario to have its own counters. That seems like quite a task for this game, though. Some of the ships are played through many, many scenarios. So I don't know, but it would have been nice to at least have some kind of indication of why there were excess counters printed for exactly the same ship. There are also ships where they have this kind of dash B or perhaps even dash C, where it's just a different version of the ship. Either the ship has been overgunned, or maybe it's been rebuilt as another ship, or whatever, but has the same name, and they're just differentiating with that. That's fine. Except I wish they had, well, this would be hard to judge. I wish they had put A's on the ones that, because sometimes it's hard to tell. But anyway, it all works there. We're going to start the first one. I'll start with the rules today. Probably won't get playing too deep into it, but, man, here goes the second part of the sorting rant. And yes, I don't have a real answer still. the best answer seems to be to alphabetize everything, and then you have to search through the ships for that. The Spanish ships, a lot of them start with the letter S because they're named after saints. It might make sense to alphabetize them on the other letter just so that you have some easier way of finding, because more than half the Spanish ships start with an S. That's not too big a deal. There aren't all that many Spanish ships. All right, we'll see how this works out, because to tell you the truth, we may not get very far into these scenarios. But there's a goodly number of them set up here, ready to go. Some of them, look like they only have a couple of ships. The truth is, they're like 30 ships on a side scenario. They just, all the ships have been used already earlier in the piles. That's going to be a difficult thing to do, because I'm going to be then trying to figure out, okay, which scenario is the next scenario that uses this ship? I may end up alphabetizing ships as I use them or something. I don't know.